back. So another problem with this watch. The upper balance, the balance cock here has got a jewel setting in there, and the jewel setting is, and I looked under a microscope, it looks like the hole has been chewed up by a small animal. So it's a very ragged hole on the inside, which will wear the pivot out on the jewel setting. So surprisingly enough, when I removed the screws for the jewel setting, one screw was ridiculously small and crappy, and when I turned it, it didn't even move. That's this screw here. See if I can zoom in on this. Hang on a second. Let's move this over to that screw there. Crappy screw. It didn't even go all the way through. There it is there. It's a snubbly, whereas this screw was fine. So that was the top screw, and the bottom screw was a piece of shit. So somebody again replaced the top screw with crap. So and figured that the owner wouldn't know. So I will now have to find a good screw for the back of this balance of the balance cock and the upper jewel. But the first thing I need to do is take my little block here. I've already unscrewed the screws, and even if you look at the holes on these screws, you'll see that they're slightly different size. The back screw is a bit bigger, and that's because the one closest to my finger right there is a bit bigger, because a ratty screw was put in there. I'll have to look at the threading there, but it's probably ratty as well. So I've got this out now, and so I just want to push the cap jewel and jewel out of this watch. As I worked on this, by the way, what I did was I stuck this in like that so I could work on the hole, and I had to make sure that the regulator pins were out of the way. So now I can just push this straight out. Oh, and I also, if you look really close again, I put a witness mark right across the top. So I'm not concerned. That's often done on a watch. This one here is like a low-end movement. So I needed to put a witness mark to make sure that was put back into the same place. I don't think it really mars the watch. It's just a witness mark. And you can't really see the witness mark from the other side. So now I've just got to push this out somehow. I just need to, I usually use pegwood and push hard, and it comes out, but in this case it's being a bit buggery. Oh, there we go. Just push hard on the pegwood and eventually that'll come out. And then on the bottom here, what I have is a really small, see if I can just move this over just a bit and zoom in a little. But what I have here is a very small setting. There's the jewel setting there. These are some other parts that need to be put back after. There's the two world's smallest shitty screws. This one's good and the other one's crappy. And I'll go screw hunting again. This is like screw number 3, I think, for this watch. So this goes in like that, and we have the setting here that goes in like this. I have to remember that when I put it back. And there's the cap jewel. So I'll clean the setting and the cap jewel. I'll have another look under the microscope, but I think the hole on this one here is terrible. So I got to go jewel hunting again for the one that a jewel setting that would fit in there. Otherwise I have to replace the setting, which is going to be almost impossible. It's burnished in, as you can see. See, that setting is burnished in. I'd have to find the world's smallest jewel setting and maybe have to make a setting for this thing, which would be a little bit of a pain. It's doable, but for the amount of work, it might take me 3 hours to make a setting, which is a lot of work. So hopefully I can find another setting like this size, and that's what I call setting hunting. And I can do that because I just happen to have a boatload of settings. Let me see, where did I put my settings? Oh, I don't know. They're not here right now. I've got to get up off my butt and find those settings. So all I'll do is get these settings in here. I'll replace this setting here and then reinstall it on here, and then I'm almost ready to go. And the last component of this whole job is to place the hairspring back onto the balance, and ensuring that the impulse jewel, when the roller table is replaced, that roller table is dead center between the two banking pins, and I'll have perfect bead error. So I'll do that after. That's the last step. I'm not sure whether I'll get that to that today, but anyway, I just want to have a chat about this. So that's another fault I found with this particular watch that needs to be addressed.